be more lucrative for you ladies, so we wouldn't have to pin on the job. Where it wouldn't like one thing is as you mentioned, Michelle Brent, shout out to Michelle Brent, her husband. They sponsored your jewelry for the show. I'm a fan of Michelle Brent.
Mhm.
Actually, I also saw her compete at Savannah back in 2022,
Yes.
and
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
yeah, lady she's been in the game for at least 40 years, and
Wow.
then
Yeah. She's.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at
I have so
66.
much respect, with this age in her shape. Like, I mean, this is impossible. Like, I I don't know if there are many athletes in history like her in at this level in this age. Really, I have so much respect.
Yeah, because last year she did the World Championships Masters. Now this is her
Mhm.
last time. She was 66 that year. And we have someone like Lady House, so I know Melody Horton, she's like 58. I think
Yes,
Irene's like about 56 or 57. I think
yes. Also, like, wow.
yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't think these women, and also they have responsibilities of raising children because Irene, she has I think three kids, and I know Michelle has that one son, and Melly has two, and that's a lot.
Mhm.
What about your family? What's your family or your thoughts when we started competing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Other thing. I was in prep, and May was a very difficult month because my dad, um, he was they found cancer, and the cancer spread out very fast. So in May, I brought him to the hospital, to the palliative clinic, and we didn't know how many days he will live. So next to the preparation that I had to the show and to training and to work, I tried to go almost every day to the hospital, like 1.5 hours there to drive there, spend maybe half an hour with my dad, 1.5 hours back home, and to just be there for him. He did survive until my birthday. That was 3 weeks out of the Emperor, and then he died. And then it was 3 weeks out of Empro. It was a very stressful time, for me. Then we had to deal with the funeral and everything like that. And at some point, I was like, Hele, I don't know if I can do the show. It's so stressful. I'm at my limit. And she was like, we are going for this show. We can do that. And she talked very much into myself that we can accomplish something. So it was a very difficult time, and I'm thankful for my brother who took also a big part into that organization of funeral, so that I had a little bit time, for me and for the preparation for this show and this win.
I can understand because my father he died about 10 years ago, just coming July. We wasn't that close, but he was my father. I
Mhm.
miss him, but my mother was the one that took care of us kids. There was six of us, and she took care
Wow.
of us. And she died doing the 2020 when because she was always sick herself because she had seizures, she had strokes, she was diabetic, she was in early stage of dementia, and to watch her, this woman who stood strong, took care of family, raised us, and I took care of her, and I could feel your pain about losing your dad because you know what, the first love for a girl is always gonna be her father. That's the man that you set the standard by
Mhm.
anybody else when you meet in your life. And us boys, our mother's our best friend. A boy's best friend is always gonna be his mother. And my condolences to you and your brother and the rest of your family. I
Yeah,
know it's
thank you.
hard. I know he was proud because he was his daughter. I know what when you told him you were getting the bodybuilder, what was his mindset when you started competing? What was his feelings?
My dad, he immigrated from former Yugoslavia here. He came in the 70s to Switzerland, and he was working every day. Uh, he didn't have school or anything. He worked 12 hours a day, and he has accomplished very much in Switzerland. He has a house, he has an apartment. He's wealthy. And he always said, you need to go to school, you need to go to work. Sports is stupid. You're doing some bad effort. You could do in career instead of, yeah, it's all true. But it is not, the career is not my passion. I found passion in sports. So we had always like a little bit, we didn't, at some point, we stopped discussing about sports and anything. The times when I visited my parents, we talked about the garden, about the weather, about all other stuff, but like diets, sickness, sports, that was no topic. We never talked about that because we know it will end in a fight and this is not worth. We are still a family. We have different opinions. We are a different person, and everybody should do what they really what they like. So yeah, in the end, my dad said he is happy if I'm happy. So I'm a know that he will be proud of me watching from heaven down and saying, well, if you are happy with the win of the emperor and the convocation of Olympia, then I'm proud of you, Sandra. So I'm happy. Yeah, I'm thinking he will say that.
Well, like if any father, I don't have children myself, but like if any father, I will apply for my children to do what they want to do most and take pride in what they do. Especially like I said, my parents, they didn't barely have that much schooling. My mother, she finished up about fifth, sixth grade of elementary school. She started working and taking care of us. And for a family, that's good because I know I've talked to ladies that sometimes the family don't support them. Comments or they say, "Sweetheart, I don't want you to get too muscular. I don't want you to be too manly." That's always the most popular one. Then friendships change because the fact is you're doing a sport that no one really understands. Bodybuilding's been around for a long time. It's not as popular as like football, hockey, baseball, soccer. These sports has been around for a good while,
Mhm.
but it's a sport that it takes a lot of work to. It's not as easy. One thing about bodybuilding is always that the suggestion of steroids, but the fact is, it's in every sport. It's not just in this one sport. It's in every sport. It's in medication. But it's so easy to pick on bodybuilding than it is to pick on the other sports. Here we got here comments from my man Kayla one that says, "Yet you have to watch out for calling out for work too much. My boss yesterday chewed my ass yesterday for calling out every week." That happens. Also, this is from he says, this is from Kayla. He says he will return 2000. Beware of the chaos. He's talking about this guy named Balls Deep. He's been MIA for a hot while, so I don't think it will happen. Also, it's from a man Warrior 2000 says, "Wonder or dear God, just getting over him." And also, this is also from a man K. He says this, you know, say, pull it up here. It says, "We all have a temporary stay on Earth," and that's true. We only have one life, so
Yes. Yeah.
you know, life is precious, but make the time of
Most of
it
it.
where you can. And also, he said, he agrees with me. He says, "Yeah." And I got more comments here from man Warrior 2000. He says, it's from Warrior. I'm kind of pull it up. My computer needs, I need to get a new computer. It's getting slow. Wait a minute. Yeah. Well, forget about it. I don't know why. It's just my computer. I just need to give myself another one. Just one I've been having for a good while. But yeah, it's good that you are now you found your goal in life,
Mhm.
and and there's a lot of women who competed for a long time. You know, never even stepped on stage on the Olympia, but now after took that time off, I think time off probably did help you because you rejuvenated, and you have people like Hella, Tamara, and Gina, and the rest of the girls in your corner supporting you. You know, well, after the show, what was that thing you wanted the most? That thing that because you're on a diet. You can't eat this. You can't eat that. Because everybody said a bodybuilder diet is very restrictive. You sometimes get a cheat meal every once in a while, but then you can't eat everything that you see. You gotta, you're mostly on rice and broccoli or carrots and quinoa. What was that thing, Sandra, that called you? That thing that brought you joy and pleasure.
I don't know if I should really tell that here. So for those, just close your ears. What really happened? Yeah, because my dad died, and I had a very hard time. And when I'm in stress and not in good mood, I come from a place where I was when I was younger a binge eater. So it can happen, and did happen So 2.5 weeks before the show, it did happen that I had really a binge day. So that means like really, I don't count the calories, but it can go over 5,000 calories in 1 hour, So with a big Black Forest cake, 1 liter of ice cream, with 1 kilogram of bread, with a whole jar of
Peanut butter.
chocolate cream, with everything what you can imagine, cheese from one end to the other. So after the show, I really didn't need some more food. I already had everything before the show. So,
Yeah, I know. I've talked to ladies quite often. Says some women they are very restrictive, saying, you know what? No, I'm not gonna have anything afterwards. I'm just gonna go back to my diet. But then, like I said again, you've been dieting. You're sometimes you might be hey, be at work with your coworkers and they're eating, a burger and fries, and and say, hey, what you eating there, Sandra? Says, nah, I'm just having some broccoli and chicken and a little bit
yeah,
of quinoa.
this is
It's just
the major thing that I have in the office. I can tell you how that is. Mondays, this is the normal week that we have. Monday is like people are stressed and they don't eat lunch. But Tuesday is Pizza Tuesday. Wednesday is Burger Wednesday. Thursday is Cordon Bleu Thursday, and Friday is McDonald's Friday. So
oh, I like to work
they're like,
there.
Sandra, today is Wednesday. Do you come for food truck burgers Wednesday? And I'm like, no, I had my rice and chicken. So it's very difficult, because at work they don't understand that. Like, you're eating always the same, so you always get these comments. But the diet is so important.
Mhm.
You have Without the diet, you can never have a good shape. Like it comes all together, like diet, training, and all the mental and thing. You have to be, you don't have to be perfect. You can have cheat meals and everything like that. You don't have to be very strict and to avoid everything, but you have to be like 90% on it. And then you have to think you cannot go so social with people. I cannot go and drink alcohol all day long. I cannot go for this junk food. I have to set my priorities and tell myself, yes, I do it. And it was worth all those years that I spent being alone, not going out, not eating those food. They pay off. I've now qualified for the Olympia. So, yes, just think on the big goal, not always the small things.
Yeah, it's good because people got to understand that. Instead, again, Bible is not about what magic pill you take. It's about consistency, following a diet,
Yes,
following your routine. Doing the stuff that most people don't want to do. People don't understand that there's so much work to this sport. It's not as simple. If you who's is does Hella with you nutrition, or you have somebody else?
yes. Hela just does everything. She does nutrition, training, mindset, everything. I just come to her. It's for me the easiest. I can outsource everything. I have one person who takes care of me, and she knows me, for such a long time. She exactly knows when something is wrong. She knows, Sandra is there, and she needs this. So this is for me a very important. So this is something I also I don't understand with other athletes why they switch all-time coaches year after year, because you need some consistency also in coaching, that the coach learns how you work or her body reacts. So yes, I think also a big part of this success is being such a long time with Hella together. And of course, Hella is herself an amazing athlete, an amazing coach. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because I know like some ladies they do that switch because sometimes with a coach it's like could be a situation where a coach gives that same kind of plan if they have a male competitor and they give them the
Mhm.
same plan to give for the woman. It doesn't work. Sometimes it's just about finding the coach that gets you that next level. I know Hella she was with Nasir, but then now she switched over to David. And before that she was with Shelby Starnes. And then
Mhm.
she switched after that, and Nasir took her to that second place at the Olympia back in 2021. And it's about you and Hella have a good relationship. That helps out too. that you come together. She's the one to motivate you. Like it's again, she's your Mickey to your Rocky.
Yes.
And and it's sometimes when you find that right person. I've known people who been with a coach for years because they know everything about that person, how they work, how they develop, how they sleep, everything, and that helps. I also have a good
Mhm.
understanding. Sometimes some coaches do okay. You're one of my clients. You got these guys got like a stable of clients, and then sometimes they just can't even just separate that person from that other person. But it's good to have a relationship with Hella. And she's
Mhm.
doing, and like I said, I can't wait to see what she's going to bring to Olympia. I can't wait for you to see what you bring to Olympia. We got here, from here, we got my man, Kia says, you don't switch up your diet, some items like plant based or veggies. So, I know most people don't do the plant based stuff because sometimes all these are just taking that plant and forming it and putting more additives to it. I remember I did an interview with a lady who's a vegan competitor. She mentioned that. Um,
Mhm.
Also, this is from uh this is from my man Chaos says everyone can't be a bodybuilder. The best way to say it,
Actually.
the great Ronnie Coleman said like this: everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one wants to lift a heavy ass weight. And also, this is also from a man, Warrior 2000. Yeah, the women who signed Bad Rap and was on George's channel is the clear winner of Portugal Pro period. He's talking about that. I just did a signing for Sherry Priami. As you know,
Mhm.
Gina, she's a Bad Rap sponsored competitor,
Yeah.
and also Hella promotes Bad Rap.
Yes.
I know I got a pleasure interviewing Eunice, who runs the company. She's a great lady. This is a true story. Eunice was at the Olympia back in 2022.
Mhm.
And this is my pride and joy. That year, she saw, this is my favorite person,
Oh
Andrea
yeah.
Shaw. I love her. And, I know I bring it out every time I do my interviews because this is my pride and joy. And I hear so much about how nice a person Andrea is. She actually, let me see, I got it here. Let me find it. Oh, yeah. She
I'm
actually
looking forward to meet her in person. I never
she
saw.
autographed it.
Oh wow, awesome! Yeah.
Wow. I
Wow,
mean,
wow.
I think she's a beautiful person. Like other than Hella, who else do you admire in sport?
You know, when I was when I started the sport, I was always looking up for um, in women. I was always looking up to Helen Trevino and to Alina Poppa. They were my favorite shapes there, and I was so happy when I turned pro that I met Alina Poppa, I met Helen Trevino, and also Linda Murray. And in men, I grew. I started I started bodybuilding when Jay Cutler was on his top. And I remember he came once to Switzerland for a posing, and I got there an autograph and a picture with him, and I was so happy. I looked up to him, and I also met at FIBO Ronnie Coleman. I mean, have so much respect of these top athletes who, yeah, who love that sport and everything. And yeah, when it was 2019 in Venice Beach, I had the chance to met Curry, and I also met Charles Glass as a trainer. And it is really like all these